Good evening and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. This is Kristen and today is day 23 of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, as well as she has joined up with the Scraptember ladies, which is the Scrappy Sisters and Laura Alberts. So Christy provides the sketch, which is this heart sketch with a couple of pictures, some embellishing, some word phrases, and some mixed media. And Scraptember ladies give us the prompt, which is hearts. Not too hard if you were to follow this. So put that there. So I am going to use this Paper Studio Hooray Baby cardstock. And the reason for that is I am going to scrapbook these two pictures of my newest family member. This is my new cousin. And I thought these two pictures fit this prompt. One picture is a little bit bigger than the other, so I trimmed this one down and made it a little bit smaller. This is a full 4x6, and this one is like a little over 4.5 by 4. So those are my pictures. And then I have gone through and picked some different papers out of here. I didn't want anything too terribly busy because I love the, not emptiness because there's all the mixed media, but I love having the solid in that background so that this heart could, the big heart on there could stand out. So I found some things in here that I want to use. And I brought in, these are Park Lane, and these are the hearts, and they're ivory looking. So the papers that I'm working with are more of a white base. So I haven't decided if I'll use these, but I do like them, and they're super shiny in my face, so I don't hope they're not that bright and shiny in yours. And then I have these other little small hearts. And I'm not necessarily sticking with all blue. Monochrome was yesterday. And so, but I figured I might want to tuck some of these little hearts in. So I have those. And these are, I believe, both sets. Yeah, are Miss Grossman's. And then on my Cricut, I cut out a plethora of little hearts in a few different styles and papers. And all these papers came out of the same Hooray Baby book. And then this is something I pulled out as well, and I made this with some scraps. I took a class on scrapbookingwithamory.com about making your own embellishments, and this is one of the ones I made. So perfect timing. And then I just already had these in my scraps from where I made a baby book for this baby. And so I'm holding on to these just in case. There's not really a place on here for banners. I may tuck them somewhere, but I figured I'd hold out on these. And then of course this paper's got hearts on it. So, and so does this one. And that one. So I'm holding on to that stuff. And then for the rest of my embellishments, although there's not a whole lot of embellishing going on, I have a sticker, an embellishment to choose from, or two. This is my baby boy box. I have one for girl, and I have one that is like either direction, like it's not strictly pink or strictly blue. It doesn't have like baby boy or baby girl. So I pulled the things that I thought I'd be most likely to use or might use to the top. I don't know about these, they're little brads, but just some different stickers from different companies. Jolie's, and there's some memory makers in here, and a lot of these I've pulled out of the packaging, and I have no clue who made them. So, and I love this shirt, but it does not fit this sketch, so I will find a way to use that. And then I have tons of like vellum quotes and phrases, and then I also am going to bring in this metallic sticker book from Tim Holtz Ideology. So with all of that said, let's get started and we will see how it goes. All right, so I went through the Hooray Baby book and found this cloud paper, and I love that. Not that once I mat the pictures, you'll be able to see too much of the clouds, but I like that light blue color. And while I'm not going monochrome, and not all baby boy layouts have to be in blue, I love these colors that blend together from this book. So from the hearts that I had cut out on my die cut, the little ones, and the paper that I use as this background, I like that. So I'm excited because I just happened to have a scrap of the fun foam, and it was the perfect size and blue. Not that it matters because you hide it, but sometimes I will put something that will look good just in case you can see some of it, which I try not to have that happen. So I cut out the whole part of me matting this, just pointing out that I cut the heart out of that, and I will put some washi tape back there so it doesn't get caught. So here is my stencil, or my cut apart, not a cut apart, goodness. I cut this out on my Cricut. And while one of these little double hearts would have been enough, I really love this shiny blue, very light blue heart as well. So on my Cricut, I flipped the same design in the same size and put it down that way. So I want to put the pictures down, and in the sketch, the two pictures are over to the right side. And because of the way these pictures are, and the larger picture has a lot of blanket, I decided that I would put the bigger picture over there because of the blanket. I didn't mind covering up some of the blanket, but I obviously don't want to cover up my cousin. So I get everything laid down. The hearts, I think I'm laying them all down now. Yeah, I cut the part out where I taped down the hearts. And so now I am taping down the first picture, and I'm about to tape down the next one, and then I realize, okay, whoops, I missed a step. There is mixed media on this layout, and I do love mixed media, so I definitely want to add that. So I realize after I get some of these embellishments out and I'm getting ready, I haven't tacked down the foam smaller picture because I knew I wanted to wait so I could tuck some things and then do it later. But instead, I realized that I needed to do mixed media. Now, I normally would have done that on the entire page before I put the hearts and the pictures down. However, this is what happens when you have ADD and you do things by the seat of your pants and do things impulsively. So I'm getting all of these hearts laid out and all this stuff together. I'm getting ready to start embellishing, and then I'm like, I think I looked at the sketch and realized, oh shoot, I forgot something. So I get out my embellishment box of distress sprays and shimmer sprays. And I pick out the blue, all the blue ones, because I am loving the concept with the different blues. And I have lots of blue. I think I have 4 or 5 different colors in blue. So the first one I tap out is Faded Jeans. And when I first put it on there, I'm like, well, I can't even see that, but that's okay. I'm going to do some more. But as it dries, it becomes more obvious. So I put it on some packaging because I feel like that's going to be the best way to get it on the page without getting it in places I don't really want it, namely on the picture. And I didn't really want a ton of it on the outside paper. And in the end, I only think I got a couple of little spots, which is pretty good. And none on the picture. None on the picture. So first I did Faded Jeans, and then Salty Ocean. And I'm just putting little dabs in different places, not necessarily according to what is on the sketch, but actually it's pretty similar now that I'm looking at it. So I start with Faded Jeans, then Salty Ocean, and then decide I want to do some Delusions London Blue, which is a shimmer spray. And I just got these from Michael's, and I love them. It is so shiny, but I don't want a whole lot of that because my big heart on the top is very shiny. So I don't want to take away from that, but I do want to have, it's a little bit of a darker blue than what I have already. And so I like having that distinction between the Faded Jean and the Salty Ocean, which is more of a, denim blue and a, like a teal, light teal color. So then I put on the London Blue, and that makes a big difference. And now I disappeared and I dried it with my heat tool just a little. There was a little bit of blue, that's what I'm doing right now. But I cut out some of that, even though I didn't do it for very long. I just wanted to dry any of the bigger spots so that it didn't drip or anything. So I am going to go ahead and get started tucking in these hearts that I had cut out on my Cricut. And I did that with all of the different, I just picked like 3 or 4, I think 4 different designs from Cricut and put it on the different papers that I like. So right now I'm putting some tape down on those so that I can just stick them down real quick without having to fight with them. And I just make my cluster of these different shapes and patterned hearts above the tall 4x6 picture. I took a couple of them in between the little part, that little opening in the shiny silvery blue heart. And that silvery blue heart is coming off the page a little. And I was going to tape it down, but I decided I like that it gives some dimension. That picture being up on foam also gives dimension, but that was more so it was not hiding as much of the picture below. And I do pop up some of the hearts on foam that are next to the popped up picture, because I don't want it to sink below the picture necessarily. So I wanted it to kind of be even. So I put it up on some foam too. But you will get to that. I will say I do not put any of the Park Lane hearts on here. I love them, but everything on here is white. I mean, even the blanket that the kiddo is wearing has on the Tim Holtz word phrases that I use are white. I just did not want to add just those hearts that were that ivory pearly color. So now I have put down the other picture, and I am trying to get the hearts that I was talking about on foam so that they are even with the picture of him with, I was going to say with the hat on, but I didn't notice that he has a hat on in both pictures. The shorter picture that's on foam. So I get those on foam and I just said foam like 5 times. It really wasn't a long day at work, but I am distracted, I suppose. I got a lot going on in my head today. But that's why I'm in my scrapbook space, because this is what gives me joy, and I love doing it. And at the end of the day, whether it's crazy or not terribly crazy, which is unusual because I work in an elementary school, it is just soothing to come home. And even if I get frustrated with my scrapbook layout or fight with, something not working the way I want it to or something, I still, it just brings me so much peace and joy, and I love to do it. And I'm documenting the memories and all the fun things, and I've learned so much even just since the beginning of September with these 30 days of sketches in Scraptember. And I have stretched myself in ways that I normally would not necessarily have done. So it's been a blessing to me. So back to the layout now that I have ranted about my crazy life. So I found some phrases in the Tim Holtz phrase book, and I put down Dreamer of Dreams between the 2 pictures. You Are Loved underneath the smaller picture. And then there are 3 on top of each other over to the side. One that says With All My Heart. One says Love You, and one says Collect Beautiful Moments. I thought I originally picked out a couple before I started, so I'd have them. But then I realized that every one of those in there would be super fitting because they're all really about love and good things. So, and then I put the With All My Heart in one of the hearts that is mimicking the exact same heart that I made in, I think it's a 10.5 inch. No, it's 11 inches. The heart is 11 inches. The big ones. So, I get all that stuff down. I'm trying to decide what other things I want to put in here. I did use 3 different chipboards that came from a very old baby book or baby collection that I have. My son is 12 and I got him when he was a baby. And they don't stick anymore, but I just put some double-sided tape on the back of them and they just say Tiny, Baby Love, and Blanky. I thought those were fitting. So there I am looking at those hearts and I just can't put those down on the page. And I'm trying to decide what else I want to add. And I pull a couple of little hearts from different places. I use the Miss Grossman's little blue hearts because none of the other colors are going to look right. Like the yellow in the paper is not a yellow. And the blue in the paper, I mean, it's just, none of those other colors fit those hearts. So I just stuck with the blue and used them as my little scattering pieces and made 3 different spots with 3 blue hearts. So, and then I go through all these little stickers. I mean, I have so many stickers and I use like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I use like 6 out of that entire set. So I'm going to have to make sure I do some more baby pages of this sweet little thing. So I'm putting the little hearts down now. And when I get done with that, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do about a title. Like there's nowhere on, I'm looking at the sketch again before I say this. There's nowhere on this sketch that has a place for the title. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to name it. And the first thing I picked when I was getting prepared was this little square. It's a yellow square. And it came from a set of stickers that I've had for a while. Well, like I said, my son is 12. And it says Full of Love, and it has a blue heart in the middle and some circles, and it's really cute. So I debate on using that back and forth and can't figure out where I want to put it. So I will end up putting it on there. Spoiler alert. But it's going to happen here in just a moment. I'm just trying to tuck in a couple of extra little hearts that I have. And I am putting down the pictures, making sure the pictures are staying down with the side of my hand and not my hand. Since I used ink, I got it on myself like I always do. So now I'm trying to decide if it needs anything else. And other than a title, so here comes the title. I was thinking about using Baby of Mine, but it's going in my book, not my cousin's. So he's not, officially he's not mine. He's my cousin's. So I didn't want to use that, although it would look cute across the hearts at the top because it was kind of like a wonky phrase. So I decided that this fits perfectly on the blue as long as I didn't want it to come off onto the white. And it fit perfectly over there. So I did consider fussy cutting around it, but that would have looked ridiculous because of the way the circles are wonky and then the words are on the outside of the circle. So I just left it. It can just be there are the rectangles in the picture, so it's not like it's the only rectangle shape in the whole thing. So now I am just looking over and seeing what I want to do. I'm pretty happy, but I feel like it needs something else. So, because I am extra, and now you can tell what I'm about to do because I'm getting out the covers, I take my infamous colored covers for my pictures. I said infamous like I've made, 5 videos with these things. It's my maps for my Disney trip. Anyway, I cover the pictures and I get out. Originally, I was going to do London Blue again, the shimmer spray, but I wanted something new. So I got out the Mermaid Lagoon, which is also the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide. And I tap that out a little bit very carefully in the entire right side and the top. And then I want a little bit more of a color pop. And I first pulled out the Black Delusions. And I changed my mind. there's not really any black on this entire page at all. And so I'm thinking, what else could I do? So I end up pulling out the Mica Mist Tarnished Brass, because it's like a gold color. And there is gold in the words from the Tim Holtz. So this is taking me a second because I've never used it before, and I don't know what it's going to look like. So I literally leaned into my trash can and tapped it out on some paper scraps that are in there, so I knew what it looked like before I put it on. I didn't want it to be, I wanted it to be more of a gold color, and I don't have an official gold. So I sprayed that, and now I feel like I have completed this layout. So I take off the little pages that I have covering it, and I'm just going to inspect it to make sure I like it. And I do. So then I'm going to show you some up-close pictures, and I'm going to be done. And I will put stuff on the back, like I said. So look, that sweet face. So that's about it. I hope you all have a great day and a wonderful week, and I hope you get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. Have the best day, and keep on scrapping. One of these days I'm going to get this all worked out. All right. Happy scrapping.